Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at how to crochet this granny square blanket. It's only a small granny square, 3 rounds in total. So let's get started. Today I'm using a different yarn. This is a chunky yarn and a 6.5mm hook because I'm working on another blanket at the moment. Yes, so off we go. Begin with a magic circle, however you normally make your magic circle. And then chain 2. 1, 2. And then into the circle, work 2 double crochets. In the UK, these are trebles. Now to make a corner, just chain 1. Next, into the circle again, work 3 double crochets. Working over both strands of the yarn. And now for our next corner, just chain 1. Again, working into the circle, do 3 double crochets. And again for a corner, chain 1. Then 3 double crochets into the circle. And another chain 1. You should have 4 groups of stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4 we have. So we've chained 1. Now we identify our first, chain 2, and working under 2 strands, however you find it more comfortable, just pop a slip stitch in there. And that's your completed first round. You can now just close that circle by pulling on the tail end. Then, usually with the granny squares, we would keep it this way round, but for extra texture, I'm turning the work. So turn your work and chain 2. That will count as your first double crochet. Usually it's 3 chains, but to make a neater finish or effect, I just do 2. Then 2 double crochets into the corner, and with your 2 chains that gives a group of 3 stitches. And then chain 1 for your corner, and then into the corner again, another 3 double crochets. As I said, in the UK, these are known as trebles. Now once you've completed that, don't chain between your groups of trebles down the sides. Go back straight into that next corner and work 3 double crochets. And as you can see, my yarn's variegated. So chain 1 into that corner, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Don't chain, just go straight into the corner and make another 3 double crochets. Chain 1 and another 3 double crochets, all into that corner space. And then jump across the 3 double crochets straight into the corner space and repeat 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets once more, all in that corner. So we've completed our 4 corners. And now we need to join. So identify the top of your 2 chains. Here it is. So if you want, you can go under the front loop and the back loop of the chain, depending which you find easiest, as long as you go under 2 strands, and then do your slip stitch. That's how it's looking. Next, turn for your final row round and chain 2. And we're now working into the side, and here we do another 2 double crochets. Remember, the chain 2 counts as a double crochet. And we don't do chains in between down the side, so we go straight into the corner and do 3 double crochets. Just pop that to the side. Chain 1 and 3 double crochets. Just show you how that looks. So you have your side group of 3 and then your corner. Next we need to go into the side space, so straight in there with 3 double crochets. And straight into the next corner, no chains, go and do your 3 double crochets. Chain 1, now you're working down the other side, so to speak, so 3 double crochets. Straight into the next space on the side with 3 double crochets. So in the side spaces you're just doing 3 double crochets, and in the corners it's always 3 double crochets, 1 chain and 3 double crochets. Remember, of course, no chains when you're working down the side. We're at a corner, so chain 1, back into the same corner space with 3 double crochets. Okay, so now working down the next side, straight into that side space with 3 double crochets. And then into the corner, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 1 chain, and then 3 double crochets. So we've now completed, if we just pop that down, our 3 rounds, and that's all we need for this granny square. Don't pull a chain loop through, just snip your work, because we need to do an invisible join, because when we're working, joining our squares together, we need to work into the back loop only, so we need what we call an invisible join. So just pull the yarn up like so. You can see you've got the tops of your stitches here, the little V's. Next, thread your yarn through your needle, and we're going to now work into this double crochet here, the middle one of the group of 3. Don't forget the 2 chains represents a double crochet, but we're going to completely ignore those 2 chains and go straight under these 2 stitches here, well, the top of this stitch, under both loops from the front to the back, like so. You can see. So bring your yarn through, and what this does, it brings your work together, and it also gives you the front loop of the top of a stitch. Next, we're going to bring the yarn towards us and go from the front to the back under the back loop of this stitch. I just show you this stitch here. There's 2 loops, a front loop here and a back loop there. It's really important that you go from the top of the stitch under the back loop, like so. And then just bring your yarn through to make a little stitch. Now this is a really good technique, but if you know that we're missing now the 3rd little stitch underneath the top here. So what I like to do is just work back on myself, go underneath, just there, like so, gently closing up, and then working back into that stitch there. Turning the work over and then just weaving down here, weaving down this double crochet. And to me, it gives a truer effect of the stitch. And then just weave in your yarn however you normally would do. And that's all there is to the invisible join. Well, the way I do it. Right. There we go. And then you just tighten up the magic circle, pull that tight, and you'd weave this in as well. So there we go. You really can't, we'd have a difficult time if you didn't knowing that we'd made that little stitch there. So we've got 2 groups of 3 across here and our 2 corners. So we've got 3, 6, 9 and the corner stitches. So that kind of like makes 11 across. And that's what we're going to be joining with. Right, so I do have another 3 little squares here that I've worked. Actually, I have 4. So we're going to join these together and make a little mini blanket. Right. I know this colour may not suit you all, but this is what I'm making my next blanket out of, so I thought I might as well use this yarn. So we need to get the right sides, and to start off with, we get the wrong sides facing each other. And let's just have a little look. We know this is the right side because that's the top of the stitch, and this is how the front of our double crochet looks. But you need to get 2 wrong sides together, like so. And then we need to pair up. So we need to look at, we're going to start in the corner chain, which is just there. So we need to start in this corner chain here. And because we're working in the back loops of the stitches, This is your corner chain. This is the front loop of your stitch. This is the back loop. And then there's your corner stitch on this one. And this is the actual back loop of that corner chain stitch. But it looks as if you're going into the front of the stitch because we're working this way. So what I'm trying to say is we're going to work under here and under there and work our stitches like so. So there's the back loop, and along here there's the loop of that next stitch. Right, back loop and that loop. And what this does, it gives a little ridge. If I show you on the finished blanket, you'll see what I mean. By working into the back stitch, we get this little rigid effect, framing the granny square. So pick up your work and make a slip knot and pop the slip knot on the hook however you normally do. And then in the back loop, pop your hook underneath the back loop of that stitch in the corner, and also under the back loop, although it looks like the front loop, and do a single crochet. There we go. So we've joined at the corner, and what we're doing now is what is known as the reverse single crochet to join. I haven't seen this done before. It may have, well, I'm sure it's been done before, but I can't find any videos on it. So to do the reverse single crochet, you just pop your hook in, working from left to right, going under that back loop, and then just pull through, yarn over, pull through. There are lots of videos on how to do the reverse single crochet or the crab stitch, so if this isn't making much sense, perhaps you'd like to try something else, but this is how I best explain it. So it's just exactly a single crochet, but you're working the opposite way. So yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, bring them up a little so they're not pulling, and then pull through. And then find your next stitch along, insert your hook, and then this is your next stitch along here. Yeah. It isn't the easiest thing to do, but sometimes it's nice to have a little change from really easy things. But you can join the granny squares however you wish. And then, so it's just a case of lining these up. And then you can see that little ridge that's forming here on the opposite side. Okay, so I think, yeah, here we are. This is the last single crochet here. And now we're at the corner. Oh, we've already done the corner, I should say. Right, so, yep, we've done the corner. I just, right, let's just have a little look here, because sometimes that's a little bit tricky. So you can see you've done this is your double crochet. You've worked into the top of it there, that one there, that one there. But this now, this next one here is your chain in the corner. So you need to work into that stitch, and likewise on here, that's your chain there. You need to work into that back loop. Just, if I can just show you, just here. There we go. I pinch the work so it doesn't go all over the place, which I'm sure everybody else does too. I don't know why I said that. Right, just there we are. When you overthink things, sometimes it's not as easy. Right, so we've completed. Let's have a look. Joining these two together. So here we are. They're joined together nicely. What we need to do now is join the next two together along here. So what we do, we just simply find the corner chain again, corner chain there, and work exactly as we did at the beginning. So, as I said, it isn't the easiest thing, and I'll just do my best not to. Right, so finding that chain there, going into the back loop of that one, and then here's this chain, the back loop. And then we're going to be working across, so just try and ease it round and bring your yarn through like so and give it a little twist, and then yarn over, pull through, and again we're just going to work our way down exactly as we did here. I'll just do a couple under that back loop, and then on the next one there, and reverse single crochet, lining up again here, and this next one is here. Again, don't allow it to pull too tightly. Okay, and I'll meet you when you get to the end here. Okay, so once you've reached the end, all you need to do is snip your yarn, pull through, and then with your yarn needle you can just do a little stitch in here. I'll come closer, under that one like so, and through here, and then through this next chain here, and then we look here, just through here. And what that does, it gives you some nice little back loops to work into. Sorry, it's not very clear when we're working the edges. So just weave that in. As I said, as you go along, it's easier. Right, so now it's a case of looking where we're up to. It is quite easy to get this looking a little bit twisted, so make sure it is the right way, which it does seem to be. Right, so the key thing is now that we need to, suppose you'd worked all your squares and you've done this, you then work along the rows this way. So you just gently lay your work, wrong sides, again start off in the corner as we did here, and do your, sorry, it's over here, reverse single crochet or your crab stitch, and when you reach here I'll meet you there. So we've worked across now and we're almost where this little join is. Just let it focus. It's doing its own thing. Right, so we need to do another stitch here. And then if you look to the side here, there's a little stitch just there and there. Go under those two. Make sure that this isn't too tight. And then on the opposite side, that little stitch there and the one just there that's next to your join, just gently work another crab stitch there, and then you're ready to go again down here right to the end and finish off as we did before. So you can see now that gives you a nice little join, and you've still got the little square border effect with the ridge. Okay, so I'll meet you when you get to the final corner here. So we've worked into the final corner here. Remember, just lay your work down, snip the yarn, pull it through, give it a little tug, and then with your yarn needle, just make in this next stitch along, go under both those, from the front to the back, and then bring your needle back up into here and just give it a little tug. And that way you've created a little stitch just here to work into, and then you could go back in there, not going too tightly of course. So that's going to be a back loop, that's a back loop as well, and we have got a little stitch already here, but going into this stitch, working under there, I'm going to go over there, bring that back in here, it gives us a little neater effect, and then go back to the back, have a little look at what's happened here. I don't know why that stitch is so loose, but we can take care of that. Just perhaps a little stitch. Sometimes these things happen. The most important thing is we have got our back loop to work into. And just weave in and fasten off. Okay, so this means we shouldn't get a dip now. So we've got a back loop here to work into and a little back loop there to work into. Okay, so that should give you a nice straighter edge. Where you started off, you do the same thing here, working a little loop under this stitch back to the middle, a little loop under that stitch back to the middle. So what we need to do now is do those. So I'll meet you when you've done that. So once you've tidied up your edges, you just go ahead and do your crab stitch border around the edge. Of course, just working into the back loop of the edge, which shouldn't be any difficulty as you've worked into 2 here. Okay, so that's all there is to it. I will start off and just show you how to do that. You could start anywhere. Instead of in the corner, I'll just start here with a single crochet. Like so. And then into the back loop here, a single crochet. Well, it's the crab stitch reverse single crochet. And you just work that. And of course the secret is not too tightly. If you find it's a little bit tight, just once you've popped your hook through, pull up, just ease it gently and then single crochet. And here you might find you just want to loosen that slightly too. Again, extend it slightly and off you go. And then you'll end up with your lovely crab stitch border. So once more, let's have a little look at the blanket, the finished blanket. And you can see that's what I've done here. And yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed. I know it's a little bit fiddly, but I think you'll probably enjoy. Okay, so thanks again for watching. If you're not already subscribed, it would be great if you would. And if you've enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the bell notification too if you don't want to miss any future videos. And any comments, I read them all. It'll be lovely to hear from you. Take care. Bye for now.